It is 5 p.m. I'd now like to call the meeting to order. Clerk Seegers, please call the roll.
All right. Trustee Anthony.
Present.
Foster.
Good evening.
Graham Hudek.
Good evening.
Seegers is present. Slavens.
Good evening.
Snyderman.
I am present.
And Williams.
Hello. A call for a motion to adopt the agenda with one change.
Supervisor, I move to adopt the agenda amending for the removal of item G1.
Support.
Okay, those in favor of the motion as presented, please say aye by roll call vote.
All right. Anthony.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Graham Hudek.
Aye.
Seegers, aye. Slavens.
Aye.
Snyderman.
I
Williams.
Aye. Motion carries. Call for a motion to approve the agenda of the minutes from the May 12th, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Those in favor of the motion as presented, please say aye. Roll call.
Anthony.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Graham Hudek.
Aye.
Seegers, aye. Slavens.
Aye.
Snyderman.
I
And Williams.
Aye. Treasurer Slavens, would you like to speak first? Go ahead, Wendy.
Sure.
Diane, hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry. Wendy had a question or a concern?
Yeah, I received another message from the captioner that the captioner does not have some option right now. So it is not currently being closed captioned.
Okay.
Can we record?
it's being recorded.
Okay.
So
She needs to be made a panelist.
that has occurred. Let's see.
Okay.
That has occurred. She is captioning, but not in the Zoom session. Interesting.
I see another attendee that says archive.
You can view
Yeah.
captions at 2020 archive.
I think we can share that link maybe in the chat page.
Yes. All right.
It is.
Okay. Let's.
Do we have a worker, Michael?
That webinar chat is available to all panelists, but not available to all.
Here, change it to panelists and attendees.
All right.
I just shared it to everybody, so they should have it.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, and we were going to have an update from Treasurer Slavens. Would you like to prefer to go after or before citizens non-agenda items?
I can go right now. I don't know if everybody should have received the quarterly investment. I don't know if you have any questions regarding, it's basically, I looked at last year's the same and it's pretty much the same. Does anyone have any questions on?
I thought Trustee Anthony might have, but
I talked to Diane before about the interest rate on the bonds and the investments that we have, but they're probably about 2% at the most, if not less, I would assume.
Yeah.
And they're all regulated. We're restricted as to bonds that we have to invest the money in, or that we can invest the money.
okay. So you're satisfied, John? Pretty
Yes.
good. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or comments they'd like to make for Treasurer Slavens for her report?
I would just wondering if this represents all the cash on hand or all the money of the.
What we have invested. Yeah, what we have invested, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so even the money in checking accounts is included here. I see. So does the 127 million, I'd say, encompass everything, including investments and cash on hand?
Cash on hand.
Okay. So it does.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Will this be part of the
Cash.
packet then? Will this be part of the packet that's made public?
It was sent out previously. It's not in the current board packet.
No, it was,
Is this published to the public, I guess is the question.
Okay.
Is that a normal practice, Wendy? Would that typically be published, or Diane? I don't know.
I can add it, Michael, if you don't mind, I can add it to the minute, to the packet. I did
You want to
not,
read it into the minutes?
well, I did not, yeah, I
Or
did
you
not,
want me to add it to the board packet? We'll post it up on
that'd
the,
be great. Yes.
yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
something we would do tomorrow or yet this evening?
Sorry.
I would have,
Is that this evening or tomorrow are we going to do that? Tomorrow?
I'll have, clerical employee do it tomorrow.
Okay, very good. That's
I
fine.
don't, yeah.
So the public can see what Diane was talking about tomorrow. They can go look for that. That's good.
I could also try to put it on my screen and do a shared
sure,
screen. I don't currently have it up. The investment report that's the monthly investment report.
yeah, the quarterly, it's the quarterly, yeah.
Quarterly. So if I go to,
I think the name of the
There,
document was
Pat's
monthly.
got it.
okay, so if I go to share screen, I will select this screen right here and hit share. And now everybody should be able to see that document for monthly investment reports. Is that correct?
Quarterly, correct. The quarterly,
Okay. So this would be the document.
for January, February, and March. Mhm.
January, February, March. There's the portfolio size. That's that 100.
Mhm. And the
Um,
breakdown.
All right. So there's your cash. And then here it is broken down on a fund level. It looks like.
Yes.
That is going to be added to the board packet, which you can receive by going to the township website, and you can click on the individual meeting icon under boards and commissions, and you would pick township board, and then it would come up in a PDF. That is currently not available, but I will work with Amy Houston from the supervisor's office to ensure that that is included in the board packet for anybody who wants to retroactively look at that. All right,
Perfect. Thank you.
so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're back to normal.
There you go. Now would be the point in terms of our agenda this evening, citizens' non-agenda items. Any comments that the public would like to make? If anybody would like to make a comment at this time from the public, if you could please raise your hand in Zoom, and Clerk Segrist will give you the ability to, for us to hear your public comments. Is there any public comment? Is there any raised hands for public comment?
So I'm examining the attendees list here. I see no raised hands. For anybody on a desktop computer, you can raise a hand by choosing that option down at the bottom. For anybody on a smartphone, like an iPhone, that option is also, I think, on the bottom left. And I think you can also swipe. If you swipe the iPhone, it should give you the ability to raise your, or no, I'm sorry, you hit star. I'm not entirely certain how to do that on a non-iPhone. It might be. I can Google that real quick, or you can do that at home.
Yeah, do that at home. Look, Segrist, do you see any raised hands at this
I
point?
see no raised hands, and we received no public comments ahead of the board meeting, so nothing was sent in.
So, if somebody Googles and figures out how to do it on their iPhone and they want to raise a hand to comment later, we'll give them an opportunity to do that. Now what I'd like to do is move to the next item in the agenda, which is item PH1, public hearing approval to amend the CDBG 5-year consolidated plan.
Supervisor, I move to open the public hearing to hear comments on the amended 5-year consolidated plan at 5:10.
Very good.
Support.
Support, thank you.
Those in favor of the motion please say aye by roll call vote.
Anthony,
All right,
Foster,
Aye.
Graham Hudek,
Aye.
Segrist, aye, Slavens,
Aye.
Snyderman.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye. In terms of a summary, on April 28th, the Board of Trustees approved amendments to our 2019 Annual Action Plan and our Citizens Participation Plan. These changes included $215,200 of supplemental COVID funding, as well as reducing the 30-day comment public period to 5 days. After further discussion and consultation with HUD Detroit Field Office, it was determined that we also needed to amend our 5-year consolidated plan, which was 2016-2017 through 2020-2021. The 5-year consolidated plan is our roadmap to identify goals, objectives, and strategies for addressing housing and community development needs, including those of the homeless and other special need population. To expedite grantees' use of these funds, HUD is waiving certain requirements and requiring amendments to the others. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, requires any substantial amendment to be approved by the governing body. Therefore, we're asking the board to amend the 5-year consolidated plan this evening. This plan was made available to the public for the required 5-day comment period starting May 14th, 2020, and this meeting represents a required public hearing. We have Director Trumbull with us this evening. Are there any questions, concerns, or statements from the board at this time regarding these amendments on the items which you've seen before? We're just going now and adjusting the 5-year plan as well. Make sure we're right and tight with that. Marie, there you go.
So where would the priority fit in? Sorry, the COVID, it's just an addendum to the bottom. It doesn't necessarily go up into a priority with any of the other listings.
Correct. It's just, we got direction from the field office on if it was going to need to be updated, where to put it. They were okay with it. To be honest, it's been, first we didn't need to do it. Then our field office told us we needed to do it. And now there's questions whether we needed to do it again. So we are just proceeding with the direction they told us on how it needs to look. And they were okay with this presentation. So they just said we had to dot the I's and cross the T's on this 5-year plan and somewhere along the line. So we're just going to do it now. So there's no more hold up on using these grant dollars.
Go ahead, Summer.
So after we approve this, we're okay to move forward with Wayne Metro, like as quickly as tomorrow, next week, or?
We put some information in the focus so people can contact them. The 5-day public comment period will have ended. So yeah, they could really start contacting them tomorrow. I have to check our website too, because we were putting a link up there on our website. I just haven't looked to see if it made it there yet. So I'll double check, but we are planning on providing a link there as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when are the funds, when do we get the fund, the extra $200,000?
It's a reimbursement grant. So we'll actually get funds once we're spending the money, and then we'll request the money back from CDBG or from HUD.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No further board comment. Call for a motion to close the public hearing.
So
Mr.
moved.
Supervisor, I move to close the public hearing at 5:14.
Just before, did we ask for public comment? I'm sorry, I don't remember if we did.
Oh, that's a very good point.
That's outstanding. Thank you.
Supervisor, I retract my motion.
Okay, do you retract your second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any public comment on this topic? It is a revisit. What we're doing is cleaning up the 5-year plan on previously approved spending. Do you see any raised hands?
I see no raised hands. If you
Okay. So I'm again going to make the call to close the public hearing.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to close the public hearing at 5:15 p.m.
So second.
Those in favor, please say aye by roll call vote.
Anthony,
Yes.
Foster,
Aye.
Graham Hudek,
Aye.
Aye. Slavens,
Aye.
Snyderman,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye. Call for the third motion.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to adopt the amended 5-year consolidated plan and authorize the submission of the amended 5-year consolidated plan to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD,
Second.
Okay. Those in favor of the third motion by
Anthony?
voice.
Oh. Sorry.
You support this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't hear it.
I just got lost. I moved, and then who supported?
Anthony.
Snyderman, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
Trustee Snyderman.
my apologies. Okay, Anthony, I'm getting reoriented. Foster,
Aye.
Graham Hudek,
Aye.
Segrist, aye. Slavens,
Aye.
Snyderman,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Item G1's been removed from the agenda. Item G2, consider approving purchase of coveralls for firefighters and paramedics.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve waiving the bidding process due to sole source vendor and purchase of 222 fire decks isolation coveralls from West Shore Fire in the amount of $39,049.80.
Support.
Thank you, Summer. Okay, in terms of background, the department requires firefighters, medics to wear personal protective equipment on all the calls and for service when COVID-19 is suspected. Currently, firefighters, medics are wearing paper gowns that are disposed of after each run. The fire decks isolation coverall is washable and highly durable, allowing repeated use of the coveralls, providing a cost savings to the department over a period of time. In addition, the financial benefit, disposing gowns are becoming increasingly difficult to maintain in stock, making the fire decks an ideal option for the firefighters protected in PPE. So these are washable exterior suits. Do we have any questions or comments for Deputy Director Stockline? Anne Marie?
Hi. Yes, can you tell me, do we have an approximate number of uses that can be used? Like, is there a coating on here and after so many washes it would wash off, or do we have an average wear time for these?
According to the manufacturer, they're stating that they can be washed up to 100 times.
Oh, okay, so, and how many do you think we need to last us?
Well, what we did is we put in for 3 suits per firefighter with about 6 spares at this point. And taking that into effect, currently we're spending about anywhere, depending on if we can get it or not, the disposable suits are running about $40 a suit all the way up to $60 a suit for a one-time use that we're throwing out.
Oh, okay, great. No, it sounds like a better idea. Thank you.
We're taking $40 to $60 and now it's $1.75 per wear, $2 per wear. So it's a significant savings.
And I'll also add to it that we completed our AFG grant, Finance and myself, this past week. And we put in for reimbursement on this item here, as well as some future purchases on as well. So just about $200,000 in grant money that we applied for. And we should have an answer on that by no later than June 5th as well.
Very good.
Do you have to send these out to be washed, or you would wash them in the station?
We have machines inside the station that we can wash them in. So the idea of the 3 gowns is that if they wear one out, they can bring it back to the station, throw it in the washing machine, getting the other one, basically giving them about 3 to 4 hours worth of use on the suits for each individual and time to wash them in between.
Thanks.
All right. So those in favor of the motion as presented, please say aye. By roll call.
Anthony,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Graham Hudek,
Aye.
Segrist, aye. Slavens,
Aye.
Snyderman,
Aye.
and Williams.
Aye. Okay, that concludes our formal agenda for this evening. At this point, Michael, could you do another look-see for hands raised?
Yeah, and now if anybody's unfamiliar with how to raise a hand on Zoom, you can always type in the Q&A. You could say, I would like to make a public comment. I see no hands raised. I see nothing added to the Q&A.
Very good. All
Gives us
right.
no we're good.
Okay, at this point, is there any staff comments? Anybody would like to make any comments or any updates for the board at this time? Okay, seeing none. Chris, would you like to make a comment?
I just appreciate your support on this. And I know that this will help us moving forward. And hopefully, if there is a second wave, I know that we'll be prepared for it. So thank you.
Good. All right. Okay, go ahead, Michael. Trustees, comments, yes?
Sure.
Michael?
Quick election update. We have purchased and are currently being printed the applications for an absentee ballot, and those will go out to our permanent list of 22,000 individuals in the next week or so. Individuals are allowed by law to begin applying for an absentee ballot for August and November, and that will be occurring as of Thursday is when the deadline is, 75 days out from the election. Additionally, the Secretary of State's office did announce that they will be mailing the totality of voters, so there will be an application going out to every voter in Canton Township. Theirs, I believe, are mailing like today. So it will be an interesting scenario for Canton residents. You may hear from people that their spouse or somebody in their family received an application from the state of Michigan before they received an application. That will be interesting. We're going to do what we can from an educational standpoint to notify people that the permanent list, those applications are coming. And that also will be an interesting election to administer with 100% of the voters being given an application for an absentee ballot. The Bureau was already estimating that you would see a roughly 70% participation in the absentee process. I was comparing the March primary, presidential primary numbers from 2016 to this last year. What we essentially saw was about 4,000 people who used to vote at the polls. They decided to vote absentee. And another 5,000 people decided to vote absentee as well. So absentees were up about 9,000. 4,000 of them were poll voters who had changed their behavior with the passage of Proposal 3. We are also now anticipating that we will see a substantial increase over that because of this will be a dual app. You can apply for a ballot for August, and you can apply for a ballot for November on this application. You don't have to apply for both elections, but you can apply. So we will be coming to the board about how to handle that from a financial end. We will be making some changes, and I will be working with HR on staffing and other directors as well for assistance in how to meet that demand. These are unprecedented times, and I'm eager to meet this challenge. Very excited. But look to that, and the previous focus had information about elections, and the next focus, which will be going in June, will have information as well about voting by mail. Absentee ballots will be mailed out in a month. We're looking in June to be mailing out the actual ballots. So that will be exciting.
Any additional trustee comments?
I just have a quick reminder because we're getting close to June 1st. For new homeowners, if they could turn in their principal resident exemption and their property transfer, because we're not open, you can drop it in the drop box, the payment, or mail it to me. It's quicker to drop it off though. I'll stamp it and then make a copy and mail it back to you. But June 1st is coming very quickly, and if you have that paperwork, it's really important you turn it in.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, Anne Marie, did you want to make a comment, please? You're muted right now, Anne Marie.
Thanks. Yeah, so this is a Memorial Day weekend, so everyone stay safe. I know a lot of people are really anxious about social distancing, especially as a lot of people will probably travel up north, but I think it's still in effect. And have a safe and happy Memorial Day for the situation that we're in. Thanks.
Thank you. One last comment from myself is our next board meeting will be June 9th. Jade's going to be putting together his group a public hearing on the sidewalk for the communities that are impacted by that. So it is going to be a public meeting combined with a Zoom meeting. So if the trustees are all available and comfortable and want to come to the theater, we'll have that public hearing and our public board meeting on June 9th at the theater. Depending on how smoothly that goes, that may become the new location of our board meetings in the future.
What time?
At this time, Jay, did we communicate a time? Is it 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock?
When I spoke with Amy, it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, okay, start, good. So June 9th, 5 o'clock at the Village Theater.
I had one question I had an inquiry, a individual is having a home built, that's inspection, maybe municipal services. The home is a new home being built. It's up, roof on, 99.9% of the work inside done, cement outside done, landscaping needs to be done. Now, they have not had an interior inspection, building inspector, nor have they been issued an occupancy certificate. How is that going to play out? Do you know?
Yeah, if it's new construction, all inspections are moving forward as they always have been. So their builder should just be contacting the building department to get that inspection scheduled through the system.
Okay.
As normal then.
So there's wouldn't be any delay because of the virus.
No, there may be a day lag time in inspection just because the staffing is not at 100% right now, but you may see a delay in the scheduling of it, but the inspections will continue as needed.
Thank you.
Seeing no other comments at this point, call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Those in favor by roll call vote?
Anthony,
Yes.
Foster,
Aye.
Graham Hudek,
Aye.
Slavens,
Aye.
Snyderman,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye. That concludes our meeting. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Be safe.